So the next one is from Brandon Finch. The subject is, what should they do with Jimmy Uso? Hey guys, what do you think should be done with Jimmy Uso if he's split from Jay on SmackDown? Should Jimmy adopt a new gimmick? Should he turn heel and side with Roman? What would you guys do? Thanks as always, Brandon. I still see the Usos all together as a faction.
Right.
Sure.
The Usos and Roman. That's just cool.
That's
three
exactly,
badass looking
exactly what
Samoans.
Yeah.
3 badass looking Samoans. Give the brothers the tag team belts. Like, the basic bro is, if you want to be the tribal chief, he should have like his soldiers with him, and like they should win the tag team titles, and then basically just Roman is the Uso family's running the show. You know what I'm saying? That should be the gimmick on that show.
And if they know, and this would be perfect, and if they know that Rock's going to be able to wrestle sometime in the future, set up for that match. You know what I'm saying? Where you've disrespected our heritage, and you've you know what I'm saying? And you could have something really good there. There's no reason to break them up. They're great as a tag, and they're going to be even greater as a trio. And I didn't see the last pay-per-view, but if you listen to our show every week, we always put over how great the segments have been and how realistic, and everything they've done has been really good. And now, after what Disco told me at the end of what was the pay-per-view that just passed?
Hell in a Cell.
How they ended it. This is still great storytelling.
Yeah, it is.
So let's bring them together.
I would say Jay really proved himself, obviously. And if there was ever any intention to actually split them and put Jimmy on one show and give him a chance, these two guys would have to dress completely different, cut different style promos, and do different moves. Because if they stay too similar, like, really, how do you know who's
Let me tell you the problem that they have. Okay, this is the ultimately the problem. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Okay, when you have 2 identical twins, to just consider them being separate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very weird. It's like they either need to be like a team or like or fighting each other. Because like it's kind of weird. It's like you got 2 of the exact same character when you have an identical twin. You know what I'm saying? So
unless you do some sort of whole makeover on him where he's now blonde and with a
completely
mustache,
different.
He doesn't even look like his brother. Where you can get that psychosis, you know what I'm saying, away, because you're always like, is this Jay or is this Juso? They look so much alike, they dress alike, but they're just on different shows. But
ultimately, they'll work better with each other because they're brothers and their looks really. You can see what happens when family does TV.
Yeah,
the really good. You know what I'm saying? And plus, they were I still think they were by far the best tag team they had before he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because remember when we talked about the show a couple years ago, and we were saying that when they were coming out, they were like happy Islanders,
right?
All colored. And it's like, bro,
like the
this
Rock.
Is like right. They look all happy, and I go, bro, that's not how I see these guys, because I see kind of like. Like street gangster Samoan type, badasses, because those are intimidating characters, right? And then, sure enough, they went with their like, their street look, and they look better. You know what I'm saying? They're not a racial stereotype gimmick anymore. It's just
if you go to just about any strip club or nightclub in Las Vegas or California, more than likely the Samoans are running the doors, and they are legit badasses.
Absolutely.
And they're super cool too. That's the best part about it until you get them mad. But they're super cool.
Yeah,
you know what I realized, just to put a bow on this, when people are talking about who else could they bring in for this Samoan family dynasty, who's going to be Reigns' soldiers and whatnot. Haku Ming, his 2 sons wrestle in New Japan. And while they're not blood related to the Anoa'i family from what I've read, Rock is still very close to Ming. So he is so close to the family that they all call him uncle anyway. So those 2 guys are tearing it up in Japan. They could be brought in and be a part of that too.
Yeah. And they're badasses too. You know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of weird that there's not as many Samoans in Ultimate Fighting as you would think there would be, because they're badasses.
Yeah, that is true.
Do you remember
where they're all at? Football.
Yeah, playing football. Bro, did I tell you that thing about there was a town in Hawaii. This is years and years ago when I went there, right? And if you've ever been to the Big Island, there's all these little towns, just little, bro, there's this one spot on the island, okay? Just a small town on the island, right? 13 NFL players come from there. This tiny little town on Hawaiian Island had 13 NFL players came from that gene pool in that little area. Wow. Isn't that fascinating? Yeah, I mean, it's
those Hawaiians and Samoans and Polynesians, they just have a wild genetics, strong and quick and
very athletic, very athletic.
Do you remember the heavyweight boxer who had a connection to
Chua?
Afu and David Tua?
David Tua, yeah.